everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be doing a graveyard speed build on my island. I currently have a cozy autumnal island with a little bit of spooky vibes added in there, and I thought it would be really fun to do a graveyard speed build. With that being said, I do not have all the builders that I need yet, but as I go along with this island, I will be adding all of their pictures to each of the tombstones. That will be representing the fact that the builders have passed on and their spirits roam the island. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so first things first, I need to get a nice clean slate to work with. I decided it would be best to only get rid of a very small portion of the weeds. I can always go and find some and add more later if I felt like I needed it or I wanted to. And then the other thing that I wanted to do is get rid of the colorful flowers. They stood out a bit too much in a way that I really didn't like. Not necessarily that they're ugly or that they're bad, I just didn't feel like they suited the build whatsoever. I wanted to have a lot of gray tones, black tones, white tones, a lot of that, maybe a little bit of red later on, I'm not really sure. But for the most part, very monochrome vibes and a lot of the spooky furniture. And I was also thinking I want to have the graveyard itself on the left, but considering I'm only gonna do 10 gravestones, I really don't know how I'm gonna stretch that out all the way to the right. Because if I did that, I mean, technically, yes, I could, but it would look a little bit ridiculous. So I decided, why not just split it in half, have the left be the graveyard, and then to the right, I could have a mystical haunted forest. Maybe the souls of those in the gravestones are haunting the forest, or maybe something happened in the forest that led to the graveyard itself being built. I've yet to pick out what theory that's going to be, but I'm enjoying it so far. All throughout the build surrounding the graveyard aspect, I had to fight the positioning of these graves so hard. Sounds really, really strange, but it's because I wanted them to be kind of in rows. I didn't know if I wanted them in rows or kind of like clustered in one area at first, but I decided to go with the rows. And these gravestones, oh my goodness, they fought me so hard on positioning. I would try over and over to place them, and it happened so often that they would place at the wrong angles, and then there would be maybe something in my way, or it wouldn't turn at first. So that was definitely really frustrating, but it still worked out, and that is what matters. There was no specific rhyme or reason to the way that I placed these flowers, because I felt like if I did it in a really organized, specific system or plan, it would just look a little too rigid, it would look too clean, it would look just, I deliberately placed them, so I wanted to make sure it felt opposite of that, and I put them in completely randomized spots to make it look the most natural and overgrown way as possible. And then I also decided it would be a cool idea to relocate the skeleton into the actual forest itself, because it kind of gives off the idea, what if someone or something wandered into the forest, they got lost, something happened, and maybe they're the one that haunts the forest now, maybe they're part of the graveyard, who knows, maybe they own the graveyard. We will have to plan that out later on, but when it came time for the fencing, oh my goodness gracious, this was super annoying. Some spots given, yes, they were pretty easy and I got lucky with that, but I did have to rearrange a lot of furniture, primarily the gravestones being the annoying part because I couldn't do it how I originally wanted to, but it's okay because it still worked out and it still looked really nice, and honestly, I feel like it maybe looks better than my original idea, so I'm not mad about it. I feel like the part of this that I didn't expect to be genuinely this difficult was, aside from the graves and the fencing, was decorating in and directly around the graveyard area itself, because I liked all of the furniture that I had, I liked the recipes that I had to work with, but weirdly enough, it still felt kind of difficult to put it together. I kept changing my mind, moving things around, relocating them, removing them, adding them, removing them again, and it was a little chaotic, but I still liked the way that it turned out. And that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone!